Hey, this is James, your holistic practitioner. Today, I'm going to talk about solving digestive problems. A lot of people have been asking me, how do they improve their digestion? They've got irritable bowels. They're not digesting their food well. They have bloating. They're uncomfortable. They feel fatigue, maybe on top of it. So I'm going to give you 4 different ways that I address things at a holistic model. The first approach to having digestive relief or improving your digestion is to look at eating foods within your body type. Dr. Carolyn talks about the 25 body types, and it's really important that everybody finds out what their body type is, because once you know, there's a food listing on every profile that outlines what people are made to eat for their specific genetics. And once you know what to eat, there's a list that makes it really simple. And the thing is, most people don't realize that most of the things on this list you're going to desire and crave anyway. And if you're eating outside of this list, it's probably because something is going on. Maybe like you're tired, things are not working right, and you've kind of shifted into more of the sensitive profile. Sensitive profile means that your body's in distress, and you've got to shift from eating the standard body type list and move over to the sensitive list, which are things that are less inflaming and less difficult to digest. But digestion typically is like the cornerstone of your health. If your digestion is compromised, you're going to see a lot of other things decline pretty fast. So digestion kind of leads the way for having a good immune system. It balances hormones. If digestion is out of place, there's going to be issues with fatigue, restlessness, bloating, weight gain, weight loss. All kinds of weird stuff happens. Skin irritation, allergies, a lot of that stuff happens when digestion's messed up. So the first step is to eat inside your body type, and there's 4 different categories in the body type profile. There's the standard food that's made to eat pretty much any time. Then there's a medium, kind of a list that you can eat once in a while, which is like, a couple times a week, shouldn't be a problem. And then there's the kind of avoid list, which is things that you want to avoid pretty much. You can eat it once or twice a month, it should be fine. But if you eat the things daily that's on your avoid list, you're going to see a decline in your health and your digestion and your discomfort in your digestion. So that's the first step. Now, if you're still having digestive problems and you know what your body type is, the second problem could be something like not enough acid, not enough digestive enzymes. Digestion happens when your pancreas knows and has the right triggers in place. Things like that are all in a very delicate cycle. The stomach is supposed to be very high acid levels, and then the small intestine is supposed to be more alkaline, and then the large intestine is supposed to be more acidic. But the problem is, a lot of the times that's backwards. A lot of times people are stressed out, they're overwhelmed in their lives, they're trying to solve a crisis, they're under deadlines, pressure, deep emotions, including things like, anguish, sadness, vulnerability. A lot of these emotions that are affecting the digestion, including the large and small intestine, are all on certain circuits, and these circuits are associated with certain, emotions. The second key to improving digestion is clearing these emotional traumas and these trapped emotions. That can be done with our protocols. There are a couple different protocols that we do. We have tapping techniques where there are spinal points on the acupuncture meridians, and we show you how to do meridian tapping on the spinal points to reduce specific trapped and intense emotions. And a lot of times that might not be enough. People might be going through such a hardship in their lives that digestion is really compromised, specifically around being traumatized, having a very deep loss in your life, loss in the family, crisis with your job or your survival. A lot of that stuff puts people's digestion into a whirlwind. And another one is having phobias, fears, and anxieties in doing certain things like public speaking or flying in an airplane, driving over an overpass, insects. It's a lot of different phobias. People really are triggered by deep, intense fears, and that's going to shut your digestion off. And when your digestion is shut off, less acid is there, and less acid turns the stomach into more of an alkaline environment when it should be more acidic and high digestive pH levels. So the key is to make sure that the digestion is doing what it should, because you're not all stressed out. And if you can't get out of your life circumstances, do the protocols. We have a couple of different protocols that are on our website that we teach people. We even put some of our protocols on Etsy.com now, so that you could just buy very specific ones for really easy access to specific things without having to get our entire course. So once you're looking at resolving trapped emotions and traumas or phobias, and that is not improving digestion, you're going to want to look at probably some allergy or food sensitivities going on. It's a lot of food sensitivities, not because necessarily you're eating outside of your body type incorrectly. Some people are still getting food sensitivities eating what's on their body type. Generally, that's caused by either dysbiosis, meaning there's the wrong kind of bacteria in the gut happening now due to stress typically, or they're have allergies to certain things that are maybe reducing the effectiveness of the digestion, or they're triggered by certain things in the food. Food nowadays, unfortunately, is not very well produced. A lot of it has a lot of materials, fillers, additives, certain things that shouldn't be there. So the third thing you can do, this is number 3. The third thing you can do is look at taking a lot of things out of your diet that are complicated and causing certain triggers that are known. The known triggers for a lot of people are too much fiber, too many things that have lectins in them. You can kind of simplify your diet for the short term and just see if the digestion stabilizes. Usually that will happen within a few days. You'll see an improvement pretty suddenly by removing all kinds of things out of your diet and just keeping it super simple. The sensitive diet commonly is protein and vegetables. What type of protein is different for every person, so it's not possible for me to tell you specifically this is what you do or this study is what works. The big problem with YouTubers, doctors on social media, they are going to share with you a study that's unfortunately incomplete. It doesn't survey all 25 body types. It's not going to involve every type of genetic profile. It's going to give you a skewed version of what a possible outcome would be. So it's really important, if you're going to get on a simplified diet of just protein and vegetables, find out what protein and which vegetables are going to be the least triggering. Typically, vegetables that are not overly full of lectins or excessively full of too much fiber is going to be better. More steamed vegetables, cooked vegetables might be the better approach at first, and just seeing if that calms your digestion and starting with simplified proteins that your genetics is meant to handle. I can't give you the exact answer until you are able to check your body type and look under the sensitive profile of list of foods. So for me, I'm a thyroid body type. My design is that I would do very poorly as a vegetarian. It would really actually sabotage my systems. So it's really hard for me to just go with an all high fiber diet. It would be very hard for me. I digest, the best things that I digest is white meat style animal protein, which would be like eggs, fish, chicken, turkey at each meal. And then involving some kind of a general starch that's natural, like a potato or a rice. And then a cooked vegetable does better for me rather than salads. I can have salads randomly, but it's better if I have most of my vegetables cooked so that they're easier to digest. And beans don't do well for me. Things with a lot of lectins in them, like some nuts, are hard to digest. But a lot of times when you remove the skin from nuts, they become more digestible. When you cook certain vegetables that are easier to digest, or you can juice your vegetables to get the nutrition from them and then have only a little bit of the fiber with your meal, but have the juice so that you're reducing the fiber workload from your digestion. And then just see if that calms things down. And if the digestion improves and you're not going through a lot of stress in your life, but you're just seeing sensitivities naturally just from eating certain things, start with that. And then add a few different things in and see if there's a trigger with the digestion not being as good afterwards. Like certain foods are immediately triggering. Then you know, okay, this is a problem. I'm sensitive to it. And then what you could do is basically the next step, which is doing allergy correction. We teach allergy correction in our intermediate course, which is kind of stepping through kind of more detailed ways to look at balancing the body, not just with repairing emotional stress, but stepping into the next stage, which is looking at injury recall. Injury recall is when the body's been injured and it has a memory of it. And we teach how to reduce that. And then we teach how to clear allergies, starting with allergies to minerals, vitamins, electrolytes, salts, chlorides. Those baseline things have to be looked at first. If somebody's got certain sensitivities and allergies to everyday things like magnesium, potassium, iron, zinc, copper, they're sensitive to vitamin A, vitamin B, different types of B vitamins, they're going to experience a ton of digestive problems right from that, because they're not going to be able to build the cofactors and the enzymes because the nutrition isn't being properly absorbed through their digestion anyway because of the allergy. It doesn't mean like just because you have an allergy doesn't mean like if you eat a certain vitamin you're just going to sneeze or you're going to have a breakout on your skin. It just could mean that your body doesn't absorb it properly and is only taking in a fraction. Once those allergies are cleared, you can anticipate that digestion is going to dramatically increase, and so will energy levels, and so will irritation and swelling and bloating in the gut. If you're having digestive problems, alcohol is going to totally trigger it even worse. Alcohol kills off the good bacteria in the gut. It also creates inflammation. It's got yeast in it. It supports a lot of the bad bacteria. So those people that remove or really minimize alcohol, it doesn't matter which kind, pretty much all alcohol is going to be bad for people, even in small amounts, even social settings. Maybe if you're drinking alcohol 2 or 3 times a year, it should be way less inflaming. But people that are drinking alcohol every week, a few times a week, maybe once a day, a glass of wine in the evening, they can anticipate weight gain, toxicity, digestive problems, belly fat. All that's going to be joining you at some point. So here's the thing. I tell people that and they immediately get stressed, defensive, and triggered. Why do you think that is? is because people have addictions. People have blocks. They have complexes to doing what's right and negative programs that are telling them, well, no, alcohol is good for me. Wine is good for me. I need it to relax. It brings down my anxiety. The truth is that it doesn't do that. It's temporarily poisoning you, and it's making people drugged. I mean, you're basically intoxicated with a poison, and so you're forgetting your problems temporarily, but then the problems are still there the next day, which is really a bad, endless cycle. The key to reducing these negative programs or blocks to maybe eating the wrong things, drinking alcohol, getting involved in junk food, eating too much sugar, is going to be addressing it as if it's basically an addiction. And unfortunately, sugar, alcohol, junk food, those are all kind of a form of an addiction if you can't just reduce or eliminate most of it. And you know, we all want to have a dessert randomly. We all would like to enjoy an afternoon or have a holiday champagne with friends. I think that's not what I'm talking about. All of that is totally normal, but it's the people that have trouble saying no or shutting it off. So here's the last thing that you can do. It's kind of like number 5, a bonus thing that you can do. If digestive problems are so bad that nearly nothing is working, and you're having major problems, including severe fatigue, it's kind of demonstrating that maybe there's like you're having the cold and flu, like you're infected with something in your gut, and it's causing severe problems, whether it's diarrhea or constipation or severe chronic fatigue problems. There may be a bigger thing going on. You may have something in your blood, virus. You might have Epstein-Barr. You might have Lyme disease and some sub-co-infections. Lyme disease alone has dozens of different co-infections. The Lyme infection itself is just one of many, because once any person has an infection, their immune system is so overworked that it's easy to get additional things happening, both in the gut and in the blood. And eventually, if you let those things persist for years, it's going to break the blood and brain barrier. And that's going to lead to things that you don't want. Alzheimer's, cataracts. It's going to lead to brain fog, exhaustion, all kinds of really bad stuff. So if you're starting to get minor problems with digestive problems, you'll want to address that as soon as you can. Don't underestimate it. Move towards the first basic steps and move towards seeing if you can resolve it with the techniques that I'm explaining. And a lot of this information is illustrated in my courses. You can always contact me. You can always leave a comment in this video. Tell me what your concern is. Tell me what you've tried. Put it in the comments. Ask any questions. I can do a second video specific to these certain things. But if the stage of digestive problems is involving all these other symptoms, like I said, digestion and chronic fatigue and brain fog and skin irritation, weight gain, achy joints, and they're all together, you may need to move into doing like light therapy. We have a light machine that is all designed with Tesla technology, using spectrum color frequencies and pulse energy, and we have seen amazing results with that. I'm going to do a separate video on that because that's a whole nother topic, but reach out to me and I can explain the details of how light therapy with a Tesla pulse energy can reduce or eliminate major infection problems, including things that people say that are, non-curable or are a syndrome. Syndrome means that the doctors have no idea how to get rid of it, other than to pump you full of antibiotics, which in the long term Well, in the short term, it can save you if you've got a major infection that you're going to risk death, or some kind of major blood disease. Antibiotics can save you. But for the everyday person, taking antibiotics as a remedy is going to eventually kill off the bacteria that's good in your digestion, and you're gonna see a big decline in all areas of health after that. And it takes a lot of work to rebuild the good bacteria that's done in the gut. It's got to be done by very specific types of diet. You have to purchase the right kind of bacteria, and it's got to be wrapped in certain types of food, specifically like MCT oils and other types of oils, so that it can pass through all of the gut lining without being broken down or lost or killed off by the acid, because the stomach acid typically kills off most probiotics. And there's a process of doing that, which I'm going to do another video on with Dr. Fox's assistance. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was something of a learning lesson. I'm open to your comments. Please like and subscribe. Please let me know if you can share this with someone else that's having digestive problems. And if there's anything specific you want to reach out, ask me a question, leave a comment. Thank you, and I'll see you next time.